Okay, I think we have come to almost the last section of our cost management. So you see, with S-curve is like a way of reporting it's a way of reporting your the actual progress, okay, on site through two things. Number one, through the schedule, through the physical percentage of work, which is basically related to the schedule, work versus time, and also through financially. Financially, we also can report like how how's progress of work. Basically, it's about progress of work. It's about how things are on site, and to see whether we can detect any variances. So S-curve is there. We plan out our S-curve. We plan out what we want to do financially and physically, which is what we call percentage of work. So these two curves will set the foundation, and we call them PV, plan value. Okay, so I think that is quite easy to understand. We plan them, and then with physical S-curve, if we look into earn value, which is the work performed, then we can get our schedule variances. Okay, and then but with financial S-curve, if we look at financial S-curve and we actually key in at the end of the month the actual cost of work that is being performed, okay, so meaning that if you get the budget, that usually we base on claims. For example, claims we will base it on the work that we've done and how much is that in terms of value that is proposed in the budget. So if that percentage is done and then the work is claimed, the amount of money is the actual budget for that particular activity. If it's 100%, so we claim 100%. If it's like 50%, we claim 50%. So at that point in time, we will have an actual cost of work performed, or sometimes we call it AC value. So PV value is basically your S-curve, the first curve that you draw, with the techniques that we've taught you. So that will show you what is being planned. And then at one cutoff point, if we key in the percentage of work under the schedule and we do the same calculation for physical, we can get our work performed, percentage of work performed. And that work performed essentially will be your EV, okay? And your EV minus your PV, you will get your schedule variances, okay? Then we also have another formula, schedule variances, the SV, okay? So earn value analysis is like tying all these things together, tying the two S-curve together with time and cost, okay? And in fact, with cost, if we look at the budgeted cost of the work performed, okay, we can also have our PV, okay, and budgeted cost of the work schedule, and budgeted cost of the work performed. If the budgeted cost of the work performed, you will get your EV. And the budgeted cost of, it's true, like the technique is the same, okay? If we go to our physical S-curve, if you key in those percentage value, you do your EV minus of your PV, then you will see if it's a negative value, that is your schedule variances. But through your financial S-curve, you can also do the same thing. Financial S-curve, the first curve that you do is PV. It's your budgeted cost of work performed, budgeted cost of the work performed. Then the second value is the budgeted cost of the work schedule. That is your first curve. And then the budgeted cost of the work performed is your EV. So you perform that amount of work. So under the performance, under that percentage of performance, what is the value of work that is being done? Value of work meaning that the cost of the work, okay? So then if you key in the actual cost of the work that's performed, which means the money that you are claiming, then you have AC value. So there's three value there. With this three value, again, you can calculate your SV and now also your CV, your cost variances. So this EV technique is a very quick, fast, end of the month, immediately, straight away, you can see. If you have kept a good record, straight away, you can see. You don't have to go back and flip all the record. You just have to key in two values here. Budgeted cost of the work performed, budgeted cost of the work, actual cost of the work performed. It's all about perform. What has been performed. So these two performance, straight away, we can calculate our whether we are under budget, over budget, or on budget, ahead schedule, behind schedule, or on schedule. You see how powerful this technique is? It's very quick. It doesn't give you, it doesn't need a lot of difficult calculation. So you see PV is your budgeted cost of goods. I think this particular technique is actually created by, if I'm not wrong, it's either American or Australians. I couldn't really remember. So it was over some military research project they had, and then they were like coming up with this, that, they need a system of reporting. Actually, EV is exactly what it is, system of reporting. Okay. So it is about reporting on a quick, fast gauge reporting on the progress in terms of time, in terms of budget, which is very, very the two most common thing on any engineering side. So with PV, again, if you go to the financial S curve, the first curve that you get, budgeted cost of the work schedule, BCWS, that is your PV. Okay. And then your EV, see, this is your first curve. Then your actual cost of the work performed, okay, is what it says. So actual expenses recorded and plotted, what is the actual money that is spent, money that is spent that is recorded. Then you will plot it in. This one is directly plotted in. You don't need to do whatever cumulative, because every claim is accumulative. It's like you claim this much and the next month you claim this much, but then it's cumulative. Total you have claimed how much, the total actual expenses per that particular cut of time. So that is AC. So EV is about the allocated budget of the work that has been performed today. So meaning that you have a work that is performed, it's already there. You say that AC and EV isn't the same thing, it's about work performed. Yeah, but actual money that is paid, and actual money that has been that you budgeted for it can be different. Okay, so obviously with EV combined with AC, you will get your CV, but with EV combined with PV, you will get your SV. So one is on schedule, one is on money. Okay, so this directly from financial S curve, you can actually get two things. Okay, but if you go for the perform, you still need to go to the look at the perform, the physical S curve that perform, that percentage of perform, you can relate that directly. If you want to do it really quick, you can go to the percentage of perform of that month, and then you calculate back the total percentage of the project. Then with the cost, you can actually get your EV as well that way. Okay, so if you want it to be really quick, so that's why we have got two techniques here. I mean, two forms, not two techniques. It's the same technique. It's just two way of looking at it. One is through progress percentage, one is through financial. So financial one is very powerful. Straight away, we can see whether we are over budget or under budget. So cost variances, if it's positive, we're under budget, we're not spending enough. If it's negative, we're actually spending over. Both does not mean that it's bad or good. Sometimes spending under is because your work is still under. If your work is actually over, but you're spending under, maybe it's a good idea. You like to look at the SV as well. You see, then if it's negative under budget, means that you haven't been performing. If your work is already done under, why not? If you're over, but the work is not done yet, then you are having then you will be like in a bad state. You see, so again, this figure is there, negative, positive, is for us to get a gauge of the situation, the reporting of our progress. You see, it's not so much of like this is the ultimate. It's a very quick way the client can understand: are we ahead? Are we behind? Are we over? Are we under? And yeah, essentially the formula is like this: cost variance is earned value minus the actual cost. Schedule variance is earned value minus the planned value. So this formula is very, very critical. Okay, and you have to understand that.